Hello and Happy New Year. It's January, a brand new year, and a brand new season for the public service. My name is Iuse Adams, Assistant Information Officer in the Office of the Deputy Governor. Today, I am delighted for the first time of 2024 to be joined by the Deputy Governor, Mr. David D. Archer Jr., for our first installment of his monthly message. Deputy Governor, firstly, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you also.
Thank you. We are on the brink or even maybe on the bridge for an incredible time in the public service. And before we begin and get into our discussion today, I will invite you to greet our public officers for the year.
Thank you very much. Happy 2024. We've been through a lot for 2024. Of course, transitioning from hurricanes to COVID, dealing with COI, making the public service better. And we're here in 2024 to be more dynamic, to be more effective, but also to chart the way for a more successful Virgin Islands.
Thank you. And I think that's a great starting point for us today. This year, we've established a theme for the public service. We've established a focus, something that collectively as a body, as an organization, we want to pitch in and work towards. And that is customer service. We've established the theme of a dynamic, exceptional and world-class customer service experience. Let's start from the very bottom of that discussion. What does that mean?
That means we recognize, firstly, that we're here to serve. Public service, serving the public. It also means changing the ethos of what service means to our clients. Many times when people think about customer service, they tend to link it to great private sector organizations, leading Fortune 500 companies. But rarely do you link it to exceptional public service or governments. And that's the reason why, Mr. Adams, unlike many places who have not dared to do that, we've implemented, firstly, a director of customer service for the government of the Virgin Islands. Secondly, a customer service center dealing with details and personal needs of clients. So it really means changing the profile, continuing to change the profile of the public service. Having persons say, you're a client, you're a customer, but rising to the occasion beyond where we are right now.
Right. And I think an important point to note is that it's not just a theme for us. It's not just a sentence, a buzzword for us. We're intentional about improving customer service in the public service. And what can public officers first expect to be how are we working to improve? What are the things we're going to be implementing?
Well, first of all is letting our public officers know what's expected of them. What does customer service mean? Something as simple as this. Should you tell clients your first and last name? Am I Mr. Archer or am I David? Or am I David Archer?
Right.
In actuality, your name is your full name.
Yes.
So when a client say, who am I speaking with? You're not speaking with Mr. Jones or Mr. Hancock or Mrs. whoever. You're speaking with David. And secondly, you're speaking with David Archer. Something as simple as that, embedding that into the ethos of the public service to say, you know what? You are not an office only. You're a person. My name is David. And what that does, that brings ownership to the service. Because we have many Smiths, many Jones.
Yes.
But when I say I am David Jones or David Smith, then I'm bringing a certain sense of accountability to the level of service that I'm delivering.
And we want to ensure that accountability is across the entire service. And in the honesty of what we do is really looking at the results. While we appreciate and love the congratulations and the commendations, we pay a lot of attention to the bad reviews as well. We believe that's where improvement comes from. And we have a mechanism to report bad experiences with the government. That's ratus@gov.vg. And what that allows us to do is take comments directly from members of the public, look at them, analyze them, and find ways to implement. And admittedly, the government has not had a great reputation for public service. And that's why we're shifting the focus this year. But what is our promise to the public?
Very good. First of all, I want to say it a little with more pace, but also slowly. rateus.gov.vg. rateus.gov.vg. And that's where clients who have been served well can say to you or anyone else, you've done an excellent job. But sometimes things don't always go well. And that is also the mechanism by which they can report and let us know centrally. Now, that's monitored not by each department, but it's monitored centrally by the Deputy Governor's Office. Not that we don't believe in the ability of departments to deliver on customer service promises, but there must be a center to monitor exactly what is going on. And I will say this. When we first introduced the program a year or so ago, the number of commendations, they were high, but the number of complaints were also high. They have been reduced. And this is not just me saying that because I can say that. We have the stats. But there's an opportunity to do better, especially in certain key areas, and we will do better.
I want to go back to our theme for the year. We've established 3 very specific words in the theme. First, dynamic. What is a dynamic customer service experience?
Is the experience that you expect to receive from someone else.
And that's the golden rule.
That's it. So what is dynamic to you? Dynamic is I get thorough, accurate, and timely answers. You deliver that service with some passion. A smile is also great. But most importantly, I feel good at the end of the experience. I feel good at the end of the experience. So Rate Us is about how do you feel? How did you feel after your interaction with the Labor Department, the Immigration Department, the Deputy Governor's Office, DMV? How did you feel? So dynamic really will be an individual definition. But what we try to tell our clients is whatever you expect, we want to deliver. And we also tell our public officers what you expect. If you were on the other end, that's also what is expected of you in terms of delivering a quality product to your clients.
And when we move over to looking at the exceptional side, that speaks more to the customer experience. Yes. Tell us more.
Well, not everyone will be the world's best customer service expert. But we are not comfortable with just average delivery of customer service. We want people to say, wow, we didn't expect that. Wow. Do you know what they said? They called me back twice for my commitment, my appointment. And exceptional is taking the basic delivery of service and making it at a level where we wow and shock people.
And our focus over the past few years has been building a world-class public service. We want the Virgin Islands public service to be able to stand tall on the stage with those across the world. And you've established where we want to be specifically in that line. Can you speak more to that?
Thank you very much. We will be between number 1 and number 5 in the world in delivering public services. Are we there now? No. Do we have pockets of greatness? Having a customer service center similar to Disney is an example. Being able to roll out, for example, our payment gateway by being able to pay online, being able to facilitate apostilles and 24-hour services. Very soon, the labor process being online. But we have to ensure not just singular pockets. We have to ensure continuous experience for our clients. So when we get there, we will be rating ourselves, Canada, United Kingdom, Singapore, between number 1 and number 5. Reason being, we have smart people, intelligent people, and at the core and the nucleus of the Virgin Islands, people who actually care.
I think that's a great point for us to transition a little bit. The persons who are expected to deliver this great customer service are our public officers. And just last year, we wrapped up a massive but beneficial project, the compensation review. Following receiving a final report, we were communicating. We've held our consultations, speaking to public officers, telling them this is what's coming, this is our vision, what's your input, and we receive from some valued input there. But as we now move towards implementing a new salary structure, increasing salaries across the board, there's another side of that. There is the need to ensure that our production and our output matches that. Can you speak to the need for that?
Thank you. I am not naive. I can only expect so much from one public officer. If they are not happy, and a possible contributing factor of their happiness is how they're being paid, I think we have solved that problem. And we now will expect an equal, but in most cases, a higher level of consciousness of how we deliver our customer service product, a higher level of consciousness of how we ensure that our policies become current, a higher level of consciousness as relates to how the work that we do impacts the economy of the Virgin Islands. When persons, for example, come through the airport and they've traveled for miles and miles and they reach the center of the Virgin Islands, the first eye of the Virgin Islands, they're not here only for sand and sea. They're also here and they're facilitators of the economy of the Virgin Islands. There's a clear and distinct line all the way through to how I'm paid, how you're paid, and how our roads, our hospitals, and the youth of this country will have a fair chance of experiences, accommodations, and resources. So while you might see tourists, you really should see yourself. You really should see hope for your niece, your nephew, your child, and also how you buy diapers and how you eat. And it means that we maintain the rules, but we recognize the persons, for example, in that case I'm describing, is more than just a face. They're actually a reflection, a mirror of you and I, and we have to become aware of that. Well, what does that mean, Mr. Adams? It means that we have to explain through, for example, our customer service standards for the public service. It also means within the next month, when you come through a port of entry, you can rate one of our immigration officers as it relates to, did they say hi?
Yes.
Welcome back, welcome home, or welcome to the Virgin Islands. We are actively going to ensure that we provide the resources for persons to deliver the services, but equally that we provide a platform for them to know what excellence looks like. And then we're going to rate them and rate ourselves in terms of how well we're doing. So in the upcoming months, you will see publicly departments that have done well, departments who have received X amount of commendations, departments who have received X amount of complaints. We're going to make this a public, open conversation until we become between number 1 and number 5 in the world in delivering world-class public services.
And that really speaks to introducing accountability into the process. As a public officer myself, I want to know if I'm doing well. That's the only way that I can improve. As we wind down this month's monthly message, I want to invite you to speak directly into the eyes and hearts and minds of public officers. We have big visions for 2024. We want to accomplish a lot. And the only way we can accomplish a lot is if we really band together as one service, as one organization, and push forward. If you can speak to public officers directly right now and encourage them for the year, help us come together and move forward. What would you say?
Thank you very much. I would first like to say, Mr. Adams, to each public officer, I can say this because I've been here for 26 years. I love you all I love each and every one of you. And I recognize that sometimes you might not have all the answers as relates to what is your next career move, how you might get there. And in many situations, you might not be in a scenario which you think is best fit for you. We will help you navigate your public service career. That's why the Public Service Learning Institute is there, to help you to become a better and the best version of yourself. We will do our best to provide the framework, the policies to ensure that you can work well. In exchange, we will ask for a few things. When you show up, have gratitude for the job that you were hired. Understand clearly and in a very detailed way that we're not paid from some great oil source. We're paid by every taxpayer who might walk into your doors and who might interact with you. And equally, your clients are not just those who will walk into your door. Your clients are also the ones that you work with every single day in your own departments, in the different ministries. And lastly, I'd like to say this. We will get there together. No great organization achieves success overnight. It'll require me to adjust how I do certain things, to listen more, to be open to criticism. It will also require me to be a part of a larger thinking as we work towards a world-class public service. You did not ask, but I want to tell the public something.
Of course.
When we do well, please tell us. When we've changed, please tell us. When we're not doing well, please continue to tell us with the right detail so that we can make a difference. The reputation of the public service, unfortunately, is not only linked to one department, it's linked to the entire organization. And we recognize that while we have great departments, there's also a need to make sure there's consistency throughout the balance of the 60 departments and units. But we will get there. We'll provide a platform for you to engage us, rateus.gov.vg. We'll continue through surveys and engagement to make sure you're able to tell us how well we're doing. But again, when we do well, tell us. If we do not do well, work with us to help us deliver a product which is world-class and equal of what you deserve as someone within the territory.
Thank you, sir. If that does not inspire public officers this year, I'm not sure what will. Together as one public service, I think we're going to have an incredible year as we work to deliver dynamic, exceptional, and world-class public service. Thank you for joining me today, sir.
Thank you very much.
This has been Iuse Adams, Assistant Information Officer in the Office of the Deputy Governor, thanking you for joining us today for the Deputy Governor's January monthly message. Remember, this year, we're focusing on dynamic, exceptional, and world-class public service. Stay tuned to the Deputy Governor's Office on Facebook and Instagram at Deputy Governor BVI, or the Department of Information and Public Relations, GIS, on Facebook at Government of the Virgin Islands, or Instagram, GIS BVI. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your year.